This
various
conference will now
advantages
be
of
recorded.
SAP system. Okay, and so we were able to discuss what are the types of consultants that are available in SAP. So we have technical consultants, we have a functional consultants. We have seen what exactly the work that is being executed by a technical consultant and the functional consultant. So we people will be falling under the category of the functional consulting. We have also seen what is the normal work that is being executed by a functional consultant. So then we have a third category of the people in SAP who will be working. So those people are nothing but the security people or the security consultants. What happened? Yeah, hi. I'm not getting, computer is very slow today, it seems. Okay, let me open any one of the Excel sheet. So security people will normally be in the roles and authorizations mapping. So we already discussed, let us say I am the procurement department person or the supervisor. I only needs to have the access to the SAP materials management related transactions. I shouldn't be having the access to the finance related transactions or production planning related transactions. So how this access will be controlled? So this access will be controlled by using a roles and authorizations matrix and providing various security controls to the relevant people. So security controls, etc. will be provided by a security consultants. So let's wait. Today it seems the SAP, this particular server is quite slow. Let's wait for a minute so that I will be able to open the Excel sheet. What is happening? Okay, so now it is good. Okay, so security people is the third category of the people working in SAP projects. So they will be providing the access to the relevant people based upon their roles and responsibilities. So these people will be involved in providing access to SAP users based upon roles and responsibilities. Based on roles and responsibilities. I am the procurement person, so I need to have the access to only procurement related transactions. I am the finance consultant or the finance person, so I should be having the access to only for the finance related transactions. These activities will be controlled by having a proper roles and authorizations matrix. So roles and authorization matrix will be the part of security consultants activity. Then we have a basis consultants. So this is the fourth category of the people. So I am just trying to give you overview what are the various category of people involved in a SAP implementation project, so that when you really get into a job, you will not be able to get confused because of what activity I have to do it, what is the another security people is going to do it. So you will have some little bit of idea. So that is the reason I'm trying to give you the understanding over here. So basis consultants are normally into the system administration activities or project administration. Project administration activities. So when I say project administration, it is nothing but, like I say, I am the one of the manufacturing company, so I wanted to implement a SAP system. So if I decided to implement SAP system, It is not a 1-day activity or 2-day activity. It will be a at least 1-year activity. So I need to kickstart the project, whatever may be the computer peripherals that are required for my production. I need to arrange it first. So what are those peripherals? Like if you want to implement SAP, so you need to have the licenses from SAP first. So license procurement will be handled with the help of the basis consultants. They will coordinate with the SAP company so that you will be able to get the access to the SAP systems and the licenses from the SAP company. So SAP is a very costly software. It is not like other softwares also costly only, but when it comes to other softwares, SAP is quite heavy in cost. Then you also need to arrange for the servers, right? You need to have arrangement for servers. So you need to buy the servers from one of the IT companies or the server providers like IBM or Accenture or Microsoft, etc. You need to approach them and buy the servers. Maybe it will be on-premise server or cloud-based servers. Based upon your investment capacity, you need to get the servers arranged from the relevant server providers. So then you have a computer peripherals. Means if I am trying to implement a project, I need to have set up for the IT infrastructure. Like the computers should be in place. Also, you need to have the laptops in place. Also, the internet setup, etc. So all these things are part of a basis consultant activity. Also, these people will provide a user ID and the password. Yesterday I have seen, right? So I am trying to log in into SAP system. It is asking for the user ID and the password details to log in into SAP. So that particular user ID creation and the credentials will be provided by a basis consultants. So these are the normal activities which will be provided by a basis consultants, and it is their responsibility to procure the licenses and arrangement of the servers, etc. with the help of the SAP company. Okay, so I just want to give you a brief understanding what are the various levels, various category of the people working in SAP projects. Like we have technical, we have functional, security and basis consultants, but we are mainly falling under the category of the functional consultants. So we have seen yesterday what a functional consultant is going to do. Functional consultant is going to the client facing role. Okay, but these people like basis consultants, security and technical people, these are the back-end people. I mean, these people will not be mostly into client facing interactions. Instead, they will be sitting at the offshore premises and trying to do the activities. But you are at the client location, or you will be facing the client directly. Maybe you are not traveling to the client location, but you will be arranging the calls from the offshore, or whatever may be the requirements that client is going to give it to you. You will discuss those requirements from the client first, then you will be transferring those requirements to the relevant teams like security team or basis team, etc. based upon your normal nature of work. Okay, so any doubts over here regarding the functional consultants? Why? Because if you have any clarification what exactly the work you are going to do in the real-time projects, we can discuss. I just want to give you some brief clarification if you have any queries on the functional consultant work. Any doubts? One minute. Basis consultants means, let us say you want to implement SAP. So you need to have the project infrastructure in place. Like you need to have the licenses procured from SAP company. Okay. Also, you need to have the servers available with you. Maybe it is a on-premise or cloud server. Also, you need to arrange some computer peripherals like laptops, etc. Everything will be coordinated with by basis consultants. Yeah, please tell me what is your query from the line. Hello, I heard somebody was trying to ask one question from the line from online. Okay, so then we have one more important advantage of SAP. So I will try to explain the other advantage. So the advantage number 6 in case of SAP over the other ERP packages is the version history. So version history of SAP. That means I already discussed yesterday. So SAP started during 1972. So during 1972, so there were 4 people who started the company known as SAP, right? It is a German-based company. They started during 1972. So they were working for one of the software company and they started their own company known as SAP. And during 1972, they have released one version known as SAP R1. So they initially started with one version known as SAP R1. So the full form of SAP R1 is nothing but SAP real-time one-tier architecture. When I say R1, it is nothing but real-time. One means one-tier architecture. So during 1972, they released SAP R1, but they have only the solutions available in that particular version specific to a finance processes. Yeah, they have solutions only for finance processes or finance department. So is it for only one person or everyone is getting the voice break? My voice is clear for you?
Yes, sir, clear.
But Sagar was saying your voice is breaking. I think Sagar, you need to check your internet connection. Can you check your internet connection? Others are able to hear me clearly. Okay. So they were having solutions implemented only for the finance department or the finance processes. They do not have solutions for SAP materials management or production planning or inventory management or something, sales and distribution, etc. So they released only solutions for finance related processes. And they have used the database. So they used the database. They do not have their own database during 1972. They have hired the database from Oracle company and IBM database, IBM DB2 database. So they have hired the database from Oracle. So they do not have their own database. Instead, they have taken the database from the Oracle company and the IBM company. So the database that they were using was a Oracle database. DB is nothing but database. And they also hired the database known as DB2 from IBM. Okay, when I say So the database they have hired from IBM and Oracle. They were using the third-party database. They do not have their own database available with them. So since they have released solutions only for the finance department, their customers who are using SAP at that particular point of time was only 40 customers. So they do not have multiple or heavy or 10,000, 20,000 customers. Why? Because they have solutions only for the finance module. If you are running a company, in your company you have finance, you have procurement, you have production. But I will not go for SAP. Why? Because you have only solutions for finance. You do not have solutions for procurement, etc. So that is the reason only limited number of customers who were having only finance related activities were using SAP during that particular period of time. So then SAP thought, why don't we also during 1972 only some small scale companies were using SAP, not very big companies were using the SAP during that particular period of time. So then SAP thought, we do not have multiple customers available with us, so why don't we develop or release one more version. So it took for SAP almost 7 years to migrate from SAP R1 to SAP R2 version. So during 1979, they released one version known as SAP R2. So when I say SAP R2, SAP R2 is nothing but real-time two-tier architecture in data processing. So it is real-time two-tier architecture in data processing. So it is a two-tier architecture in data processing. Here also they have the solutions implemented for finance processes. Along with finance, they also have the solutions developed for logistics modules as well. So when I say logistics modules, what are the departments that are coming under logistics? You have a procurement. So for the procurement related, they have implemented a SAP MM, nothing but a materials management module, which will have the processes for or solutions for procurement department. They also introduced SAP PP along with SAP Finance, that is production module or production planning module. They also have solutions for SAP HD. These are all logistics modules, which is the sales and distribution. So they also have the solutions available SAP QM. QM is nothing but, yeah, exactly, quality management. So they also have solutions for SAP WM. So that is a warehouse management module. So in the 1979 version, they have solutions available for finance along with the logistics modules like MM, PP, SD, QM, and warehouse management, etc. So with the introduction of logistics module, the SAP database or the customers got increased from 40 customers to almost some 800 customers during the period of 1979. Why? Because you have the solutions available for all other modules as well, right? So that is the reason their customer base got increased from 40 to 800 customers. Still, the SAP is not able to use in very big organizations because of the architecture, that is R2 architecture, which was not able to support high volume of transactions. Let us say if you take Amazon, in Amazon every day at least 10,000 purchase orders will be created, or 10,000 sales orders will be created. So if you are doing 10,000 per day monthly, how many? 3 lakhs. Only sales order you are creating 3 lakhs. Then there is a purchase order, there is a goods receipt, there will be a contract, there will be so many other things. Yeah, your transactional data in your system is huge. So if your transactional data in your system is huge and your database or the architecture is not supporting that much particular volume of data, obviously no one is going to use your software. So that is the reason the customer base did not got increased very much, and they have the usage of SAP in small scale corporations only still. Also the database what they were using here is same database. There is no change in the database for the 1979 version as well. They were using the same database over here. So
What exactly you means database,
we
sir?
are lagging behind, so we are not able to provide the solutions for very big industries or the heavy industries. So what we have to do? So they thought we need to change our architecture from SAP R2 to SAP R3. So it took for SAP almost 13 years to migrate from SAP R2 version to SAP R3. So it was during 1992, they have released one version known as SAP R3 version, known as a real-time 3-tier architecture in data processing. So real-time 3-tier architecture in data processing. So what is the change that they have done in data processing of the SAP R3? Here also they have the solutions for finance module, and they also have the solutions for logistics modules as well, but they have migrated the SAP R2 to SAP R3. What is SAP R3? SAP R3 is nothing but a 3-tier architecture which is compatible enough to address the solutions of the very big industries. So they have made some changes to the architecture so that SAP was able to provide or compatible enough to provide solutions for big industry needs. Right? So with the introduction of R3, SAP was compatible enough to provide the solutions for very big industry requirements or the needs. So with the introduction of R3, the customer base of SAP within a 2 years of span got increased from 800 customers to 12,000 customers around the world. I think presently it is more than 2 or 3 lakhs. Okay, but during 1992, they have increased their customers 800 to 12,000 customers within a span of 2 years. Also, the database they were using during this particular period of time is Oracle and the DB2 database only. There is no change in database. Then we have already seen, when I say R3 architecture, what is the changes they have done in this particular architecture. So when I say SAP R3, it has 3 layers in data processing, right? 3 layer in data processing. We have already discussed this thing. 3 layer in data processing. So what is the layer number 1? Layer number 1 is presentation layer, right? We already discussed what is the presentation layer. presentation layer is enables the users to be able to have the access to SAP system and do the transactions based upon their roles and responsibilities. Then we have seen the application layer.
Application layer.
So application layer is the backend programming part where the SAP language, ABAP, Advanced Business Applications Programming Language,
Program.
will be used to run the backend programs. So that particular backend programming part will be called as the application layer. Then the layer number 3 is a database layer. So when I say a database layer, whatever may be the transactions and the configurations which you are performing in SAP will be stored under a backend database tables in SAP. So that particular area where you are storing any issue, reflecting, huh? Okay. So database layer is nothing but a backend storage where the data is getting stored in the format of the SAP tables. So we will see how the data is getting stored in SAP tables in the coming sessions. We have already seen, we have created one purchase order and we were able to see what are the relevant tables that are getting updated when you save your data in SAP.
So what is
So this
application
is
layer
the
basically,
SAP
sir?
R3 that got released during 1992. So SAP R3 was successful in SAP versions and it was continued till 2006. So during 2006, they have released one version known as SAP R3 version 4.70. 4.70. So it is also some of the enhanced solutions that are available compared to 1992 version. In 2006, what they have released, they did some enhancements to the solutions like transactional codes and some of the custom enhancements they were did it. So during 2008, they have released one more version known as SAP R3 version ECC 6.0. SAP R3 version 6. ECC 6.0. So when I say ECC, the full form of ECC is Enterprise Core Component. Enterprise Core Component. So this is the version they have released during 2008. Then during 2009, they have released one more version known as SAP R3 version ECC 6.0 EHP 7. So when I say EHP, it is nothing but enhanced package. The full form of EHP is enhanced package. Enhanced package 7. Again during 2012, they released one more version, that is SAP R3 EHP 8. So enhanced package 8 they have released. So till 2012, they were using the database as a Oracle database and the DB2 database, and there is no change in the database. Pardon me? See, the same Oracle and the DB2 database they were using till 2012, but they observed some issues with the database what they are using. That means if I run multiple reports in parallel, in SAP there are hundreds of reports. I am running one report. You are also started running one report at the same time. Like that, if somebody is running a 60 reports in one go, the reports will take a lot of time. Sometimes the program will get into a dump mode. The report which you are trying to execute will not be giving the end results. Instead, it will be getting into a dump mode or program failure mode. Sometimes it will take a lot of time, 30 minutes or 60 minutes. So such type of performance issues were observed in the database. So SAP thought also, if you have performance issues, what SAP suggested, they have developed altogether a new module only for the reporting purpose. So I have developed a separate module only for the reporting purpose. Then what will happen to the client? It is an additional cost to the client. I have SAP module. Within SAP module, I have some reports. Then I need to pay a less amount of money. But you are saying you should not run the reports in SAP module. We will provide you separate module to you for the reporting purpose. Then what will happen? I need to pay extra money to you, right? Why? Because you are asking me to purchase a additional module for the reporting, which will be a extra cost to me. So the cost for the software is getting increased because of the additional module known as SAP BIBO. So they have released one module specific to the reporting, that is known as SAP BIBO, Business Interface and Business Objects. Business Intelligence, not interface. And Business Objects. So they have released this one. And they were saying, if you want to run the reports, don't run in SAP module. Instead, you buy business objects. But it is an additional cost to the client. So normally client will oppose, right? If I say you buy a reporting module separately, I will say, are you giving it for free? They will not give you for free. You need to buy it. At least 1 crore or 50 crores, 50 lakhs, it will be minimum. It is an additional cost to the client. So such type of issues were observed with the database what they were using. So during 2015, SAP thought, why don't we migrate from Oracle database to one of the database known as HANA database. So during 2015, they thought of change of database from Oracle/DB2 to database to a SAP own database. That is known as own database, known as a HANA database, known as HANA database. Right. So earlier they are hiring the database from IBM and Oracle. Later, during 2015, they have their own database available with them. That is known as a HANA database and the HANA database or S4 HANA database. HANA or S4 HANA database. Right. So in S4 HANA, you have two things. One is a on-premise database and HANA cloud database. On-premise, and the second one is the cloud. So you might have heard about it, cloud, right? So what is a cloud database? What is on-premise? Can anyone tell what is the difference between these two things? Pardon me?
is database is storing a whole server.
Hmm.
So cloud database is storing the particular storage. Not exactly.
Yeah. Okay, anyone from the line, what is the on-premise database and the cloud database?
So online you cannot access it.
Yeah, 1 minute. Anyone from line can tell me what is the on-premise database and the cloud database?
Yeah, on-premise database, it means locally database, and cloud database, it means stored in cloud, like Amazon Web Service, like that.
Okay, so when I say cloud database, like there are some companies, they are the server providers, right? Like you have or Amazon or Oracle, IBM, and Accenture, etc. So these are the companies. They have a large setup for the servers in one of their locations. We don't know where they have their setup, but they have a large setup of servers available with them, and they are giving on rental basis those servers to you. Let us say I am the company, I want to implement SAP. Then what I will do, I need a database. Anyhow, I have to database at any cost. What I will do, I will approach Amazon or Oracle company and I will ask them for the server. What they will do, they will give you on rental or the hire basis. So you need not to maintain any server over here in your company premises. Instead, you will hire the servers and you will try to pay the rental on every month or 6 months once or yearly once. You need not to bother about it, how to maintain a server, how to do the maintenance activities, or how to execute a server operations, etc. Everything will be taken care by these companies only. You just need to pay a rental charges, that's it, which is a cloud database. On-premise means the installation of the servers and everything, etc. will be in your company premises. So that is the difference. But nowadays, most of the companies were going for a cloud database only. So it is not a on-premise database where you need to install the servers in your company premises. Instead, most of the companies will be going for a database, that is a cloud database. Okay. So then during 2015, SAP thought we will not change the database for logistics modules as well as finance modules. We don't do a change together. We will simply do the database change only for the finance solutions. Why? Because you are doing the database change, it is a major activity, it is not a simple activity. And if your that particular database change fails, then your entire software is gone. So they thought we will change only the database specific to the finance solutions, and we will release that particular product to the market, and we will see the feedback from the customers. If the feedback is very good for the finance database, then we will go for the database change for the logistics modules as well. So that's what they thought. So during 2015, they released one module known as a simple finance. So it has a database replaced by HANA database. In this, they have replaced DB2 / Oracle database, DB, with a S4 HANA and HANA database. and they named that particular database change for the finance solutions called as a simple finance. So what is the advantages of changing a database from Oracle to DB2? The advantages what they have observed was the speed of the HANA database. Let us say in the Oracle database and HANA database. If I execute a report in Oracle, let us say I will show it to you. There are quite many reports in SAP. So you can execute same report in DB2 database as well as you can report a HANA, you can run a report in HANA database. Let us say I am executing a report in Oracle. It takes 18 minutes to give the end results. In the same way, if I execute the same report in HANA database, it will be giving the results in 1 minute. That means the speed of the HANA database is 18 times faster than the Oracle database. So speed of HANA database is 18 times greater than DB2 database. So this is one of the major advantage of the using HANA database. So I will try to execute, you will see the differences. Okay, but this is the test server. You will not be able to see the difference in test server quite easily. But if it is a real production server, then you will see the difference clearly between a Oracle database and the S4 HANA database. But I will try to show it to you. I will try to execute one report. Let me go to the SAP logon. This is the first class for you. You joined for you, I am asking. First class. You already demo. When?
14.
Huh? You joined online. Okay, so let me try to log in into SAP. So we have hundreds of reports in SAP, but I am trying to execute one report just for your understanding purpose. So I will go to the materials management. I will go to inventory management, then environment, then list display. I will go to the stock. Let us say I wanted to execute a MB52 report. So let me try to execute this report. We will see. I think it will not work. I need to execute stop for posting date. So we need to restrict the solution over here. Just leave it. Let me go to the one of the another report. We will see. I wanted to see the open purchase orders. So I was just wanted to see the report for the open purchase orders. We will execute. So I will try to execute ME2N transaction code. Let us say how much time it will take. Let me try to execute. This is the test server. So where you have a limited transactional data, but in the real-time production system, there will be per day 1,000 or 10,000 orders will be there. So if you are executing in the real production system, it will take a lot of time for the volume of the transactions which you have. Right? The volume of the data is huge over there. See here how much time it is taking over here. But I will also parallelly try to open the HANA server. Let me see. I have the HANA server access. I will try to open it. So I will go to the HANA server. MST. MSTSC. See, that report is still running. So I'm trying to connect to the HANA database. I'm not sure whether the access is there or not. Okay, so let me see. HANA 71. No, HANA server access is now removed, it seems. Okay, anyhow, see how much time it took. It took almost 2 to 3 minutes, right? 2 minutes it has taken to execute this particular report. But if you execute the same report in HANA database, it might have executed within 5 seconds. So I just wanted to show it to you in S4 HANA, but the access for the S4 HANA server is now expired for me. So I will try to get the access and I will show it to you what could be the difference between the speed of the S4 HANA and the ECC servers. So this is one of the major advantage of HANA. The first and foremost advantage is the speed. It is 18 times greater in speed compared to the ECC server. Also, the database change. We discussed in HANA Oracle database, the data is getting stored in the database in the format of the SAP tables. But within SAP tables, the structure of the data that is getting stored in Oracle database is in row based format. But when it comes to a HANA database, the data is getting stored in the format of the SAP tables, but the structure of data storage is in a column based format instead of row based. In Oracle HANA database, the structure of the data storage is in a column based format. So like this, there are 20 to 25 different advantages of HANA database compared to a Oracle or the DB2 database. We will discuss these things in one of our special class during our course. But if I try to explain the majority of the differences, so now you will get confused. But the first and foremost thing is speed. HANA database is quite good in speed. Okay, so they got the very good feedback from the market. So most of the customers were happy with the simple finance with the database change. So then SAP thought during 2016, why don't we release the logistics module related database change as well. So during 2016, they have released simple logistics. So it has a database change for the logistics modules. Change for logistics modules. Right? They have changed the database for the logistics modules from DB2 database to a HANA database. Like for the materials management and for the production planning and for the sales and distribution modules, they have changed the database and they gave the naming convention as simple logistics. So it has a very good feedback from the market. Then during 2017, they released one product known as SAP HANA S4 HANA version 1709. In one version to one version, the functionalities they are increasing or making changes to the existing functionalities. Also during 2018, they have released the SAP HANA S4 HANA version 1809. Again, during 2019, they have released one version known as SAP HANA S4 HANA version 1909. And presently, we are into one of the latest version, that is version 2020. Okay, so I just gave you some examples of the version history of SAP over here, but there are so many other versions as well that got implemented. If you wanted to go through the exact version history of SAP in detail, then you can see those things in the one of the Google link. So I will just show it to you. So I will go to the Google and I will put SAP version history. SAP version history. If I just put it over here, SAP version history. So I will go to the SAP versions, release and the history of evaluations. You see here how many versions are there. You can go through. During 1972 financial accounting system, they released only solutions for finance, right? So like this, you can see the various version upgrades that SAP has gone through during these 40 years of time. See, these are the many versions. Okay, so here also you have the customer base, etc. Also, what is the three-tier architecture also specified. See, so here you also have the details of the architecture as well. Like SAP R3 is nothing but a three-tier architecture. So like that, you have various details available in this particular version history. If you have some doubts, I think presently it has 2,51,000 customers around the world in 188 countries. So they started with 40 customers. Now they have 2,51,000 customers. That means SAP is never going to be die. It is not like other softwares where it will be used for 2 years or 3 years, then it will be replaced by one of the another language. So they have almost 2,51,000 customers using SAP around 188 countries. That means your job is guaranteed for at least remaining 30 years. If you join today in SAP, there is no doubt you will have your job for next 30 years. So that is what you can see the version histories over here in this particular section. Okay, so then any doubts on the version history? Otherwise, we can continue with the next topic. Any doubts from the line? Any doubts from the line? Okay, so I think if you don't have any doubts, we can continue with the next topic is procure to pay cycle, right? So till now we were discussing some of the theory part, but when it comes to a SAP sessions, we are going to start with one of the functionality or the cycle. Means I am saying SAP materials management is supporting the procurement related activities. So what activities that you are going to do it in a procurement department? what is the process steps that you are going to use it. When a particular procurement activity triggers, and what are the various steps that it will go through to complete a procurement cycle, will be called as a P2P cycle or procure to pay cycle. So P2P cycle will be called as a procure to pay cycle or SAP materials management procure to pay cycle. So what is a P2P cycle? When a procurement activity triggers in your organization. So the procurement activity triggers in an organization for the need of a particular material. Let us say I am the production supervisor. Where is paint over here? I could not find paint. It was there yesterday. Okay, so let us say I am the supervisor of the production department. Let us say I am the supervisor of the production department, and I am planning the materials that are required for my production purposes. Let us say I am the production supervisor, right? Let us say my plan, in my company, I am producing air conditioners. To produce, let us say I planned to produce 50,000 air conditioners during the month of October. To produce 50,000 air conditioners, I need to plan my materials today itself. Like what and all how many compressors I need? I need 50,000 compressors. How many freezer boxes I need? I need 50,000 freezer boxes. So if I am planning 50,000 air conditioners during the month of October, I need to plan the materials today itself. So let us say I will take one material that is known as compressor. I need compressor of 50,000 numbers so that I will be able to produce air conditioners during the month of October. Okay, so we will close the session over here today, and we can continue tomorrow for the further steps. Okay. So any doubts from the line regarding the today's session? If you have any doubts, you can stop me at any moment of time so that we can discuss on your clarifications or the doubts. It is not an issue. You can stop me at any moment of time so that we can discuss. Okay then. So thanks a lot for joining the call, and thanks a lot for your time. So we can meet tomorrow at the same time.
Hello.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, can
yes.
you? Yeah.
Yes, tell me.
If you fetching the data from database, then we need right to queries.
Yeah. Queries will be normally written by the technical people. Okay, so not us. Functional consultant is not going to write any program, etc. Queries, everything will be written by technical people only. But you will just give a logic how to write a query and what are the tables that are from which you need to fetch the data. So such type of details you are giving, but the query creation, etc. will be done by a technical people.
Okay.
Sir, do you mean a database is a server?
Database means it is like a memory device. Like you buy a mobile, right? You will say I need 6 GB mobile or 12 GB mobile, which is nothing but a storage device. In your case, that particular storage device is a database.
Is it not a server?
Server, within the server there will be some memory devices. Yeah, you can call it as a server.
Okay.
Okay, but I do not have much idea what exactly server is going to do. Nobody will ask you what is server, etc. Okay.
No, I'm just asking. I was confused a little bit in database because previously we are using for IBM and Accenture and use it for. So that's I was confused.
Yeah, database. I also don't have much idea here. Why? Because nobody will ask you what is database. If somebody
No, for
wanted to ask questions, somebody want to ask the questions related to database, they will ask the questions to basis consultants or technical consultants. As a
no
functional
for
consultant, you need not to worry what is the database.
for our internal understanding, I was just confused, so I was asking you. That's it.
Yeah, I also don't have much idea. Okay, but I can say in the database you are going to store the data. That
So it's
level
a
of detail I can give. But when you
yeah.
say
So
what is database, etc., I cannot give clarification.
so it can be a memory storage connected to the server or something
Yeah,
like that.
that's what I can say. Yes.
I was having the same knowledge. That's was I was increasing. Try to increase the knowledge. That's the reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, then. Thanks a lot for joining the call. Thank you. Bye bye. I'm closing the session. Thank